Red Room by Jay Howell. Jay Howell discovered he could sing in elementary school during a Black History program. His aunt heard his voice and couldn't believe it. She called his mom and let her hear it. His family has supported his dreams to be an artist ever since. How do we feel about his voice, though? Here's our honest review of Red Room by Jay Howell.
Jay Howell, Red Room. This joint I actually didn't come across on my own, believe it or not, man. Kiana sent this over to me, shout out to Kiana, and told me that it was dope. Check it out. So, I did, and here I am recording it. So, this project right here, pretty damn surprising. So, the cover of this project, man, it's pretty dope. It's just like he's sitting in a red room, and it looks like he's almost floating in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's just got this kind of like, don't get me wrong, you can look at it and see he's laying on speakers, but from a distance, it looks like he's floating on the air. And the stuff in the background is kind of red, so he's got that type of vibe to it. The flow of this project is more so on a super old school R&B tip. Like, he does a really good job of picking old school R&B style instrumentals. He's using old school R&B riffs. The way he's choosing to sing these songs is really reminiscent of stuff that you would hear from back in the late 90s, early 90s, early 2000s style of generation. It doesn't sound like 2019, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Highlights for this joint, man, there's actually quite a bit of highlights on this joint. The first song that comes to mind to me is When We Making Love. That joint is amazing. Production is on point. The singing on this song is one of the best singing performances on this project. Faithful is crazy. It's really short, man. It's just funny hearing the dude just talk about how they just tired of being faithful. They about to just go and just be a savage. The joint is hilarious. Something About You is another one of those songs that's super catchy, super easy to like. Love You in the Morning, in other words, acronym LUIM. This is another one of those songs that I was just like, man, like when the instrumental came on, it didn't sound like 2019. It sounded like something from back in the day, and it came out sounding really good. And My Love is another song that is just like super amazing. Lowlights. I actually don't have a low light for this joint. It's kind of hard. Like, when I say that, you really got to listen to this project. If I want to sit here and nitpick, there were a couple notes where I felt like he may have stretched it a little bit too hard, or he may have bent the note a little bit too hard to try to get like a more unique sound. But that doesn't hurt the quality of the songs or anything like that, because the overall songs are so strong on this project. So it's kind of hard for me to pick something here that's actually a real low light, Final thoughts for this joint, man. Look, I think Jay Howell has a great future ahead of him, man. He's got some very dope songwriting skills. He's still really young, so he's got a long way to go, and he just is going to continue to put out amazing music, I believe. I feel like he's filling the void that was left by Trey Songz and August Alsina, like these type of singers that make that style of music that, that they tried to fill a void from what R. Kelly had left open. So I feel like Jay Howell is sliding slowly into that void. Chris Brown is kind of doing his own thing somewhere else, but here, this joint sounds amazing, and I think you should give it a listen. Final grade, this is super easy for me. I'm gonna give it a check. This is probably, so far this year, one of my top 3 R&B albums. That's really hard to say, man, especially when you consider, like, right now, my top 2 before this was Lucky Day, Painted, and Lizzo. And you might want to consider Lizzo's album a pop album, but whatever you want to categorize it, that album is fire. And then you got to throw this up there too. This joint is amazing, old school sound. You ain't really getting that too much in 2019, and we haven't heard it sound this good in a long time. You can go listen to Lucky Day compared to this Jay Howell. You gonna have a tough time trying to figure out which one is better. And Jay Howell hit it out the park with this one right here.